What's good, everybody? What is good? It is February 18th, 2019, and I have a little bit of a clickbait title today. It is called Bitcoin Boom Time. The answer, unfortunately, is still no. So if you wanted to join this clickbait boom title, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the answer is still no. I don't think we are booming anytime soon, and I now see my hands are being pixelated, so my bad. But yeah, I still don't think that there's a quite upswing in this market at all. So if you were looking for positive news, it is great that Bitcoin's actually starting to make some movement, and we're gonna take a deeper look into that. But maybe a squiggle boom, but you know, I feel like most of my videos turn out to be rants, so I just literally just named it out to be a rant here. And yeah, and my apologies for having all these little distortions to my face. I mean, my face usually isn't pixelated in real life, so if you see a bunch of little dots showing up, my bad, guys. Anyways, let's jump right into it, guys. And I wanted to go first into BitMEX and just show the incredible amount of volume in BitMEX. So last time I streamed, I kept an eye out and wanted to point out that around 16 to 20 billion dollars were being traded average. And so we'll find out what's actually being traded right now on the market, and not derivative products, actual Bitcoin. And let's go take a look. $34 billion being traded. If that volume sustains for more than a couple days, then I'll be a little bit happier. But right now, I'm not too surprised over this market boom, actually. Quote unquote boom, right? But again, it's still nice to look at. I mean, look at that. 25% up on EOS. I mean, what's not to love on that? That's just incredible. So let's take a look at what really started happening. So I'm going to zoom down to the 1 month here. And so I'm just going to slowly scroll over. So what I'm looking at right now is that 24-hour volume. And let me actually zoom in here. So whoops. Oh, man, this is hard. You see that 24-hour volume right there? Yes, my hand is pixelated. My apologies, guys. I'm getting comments on Twitter already. But you see that says $18 billion dollars being traded on the 24 hours. So I'm going to slowly scroll, and I'm going to reduce my face so you don't have to see me that big. So I'm just going to slowly scroll over. So you're looking at this 17 billion, 18 billion, 17 billion, 15 billion, 15 billion. And now let's look at this little spike here in total market cap. Oh, wow, 22 billion, not too bad. 24 billion, 18 billion. So we're still getting that increased volume, which means increased activity on these exchanges. And this is not considering the actual Bitcoin transactions and how many Bitcoin transactions there's actually been. And I'll show you that too. So all of a sudden, we start booming up over the last 2 days from around 20 billion. Remember that 16 to 20 billion that's our sweet spot right there. That's when we know a market activity is kind of stable. What's kind of boomed these things? You know, JP Morgan came out a couple of days ago. Big news about the NASDAQ and backed, of course. But this is super surprising with $34 billion. So some serious players moving the market here. So $34 billion, that's $14 billion more than what we'd expect at $20 billion being traded on the 24-hour. But this is really, really impressive. Lots of volume coming in throughout all the markets here, which is what's kind of preemptively boosting up this price and keeping this price afloat. But again, I am wary. I think maybe it may top out at 4,400. But still, it's good to keep an eye out on it. There's not any short-term predictions I could really lay out for you here. My analysts at the Moon Lounge and specifically the Discord Lounge, you could guys join for free up there. You can take a look, and also Amal's new trading course. That may be a little bit better of an option than maybe a little bit better of an option than me telling you all willy-nilly about how this is all going to play out. And I'm just going to reduce my little crop field here so you guys don't see that little distortion. And my bad again for the distortion. I really don't know what's going on. Same lighting, same settings. Anyways, let's go right back to the coin market cap, and we see we're at 39.18. Remember, whatever coin market cap reports, that's a tether, most likely influenced by tether exchanges. So if you click on this Bitcoin, and this is something that I want to reiterate to you guys, that we have not broken the 100-day moving average as far to my knowledge, and we'll keep taking a look at that. So you're seeing BitMEX, of course, does not impact this price whatsoever. There's a little star next to it. But we could just take a look at a natural fiat exchange, and I like using Coinbase. Coinbase as a indicator, there it is, 38.61. So we're seeing exchanges that are completely tethered, like Bitfinex, almost trading at a $100 premium. So this is nothing too surprising. It doesn't affect you that much, but remember, don't look at coin market cap when actually trading. Actually look at your charts and actually look at the price on what's actually happening on the exchange, right, that you're specifically trading on. And it is a green day. Happy days, guys. And let me read some of you guys' Facebook comments as well. And I am reading your guys' comments, so let me know if you guys want me to look at a specific cryptocurrency. But we're going to go over and look at Bitcoin. I think that'll be the first cryptocurrency that we'll look at, and specifically that 100-day moving average. I think that's pretty serious, guys. Without a doubt, pretty serious. And 1 second, guys. Sorry, I didn't have the Facebook comments up. Now I have them up. All right, let's get it. All right, but Binance is always a little off. Remember, why is Binance off? Binance is off because they have a lot of tethered cryptocurrencies in place. So Paxos is a big, it's just PAX. That's the ticker for it. That's a big cryptocurrency used for a tether exchange, or used to tether the dollar. There's DAI, which is also traded on Binance, big exchange. That DAI is what it's called, DAI. There's Tether, of course, which is USDT, and then of course there's True USD, which is my favorite because it's kind of exchange agnostic and doesn't really rely on Bitfinex, and actually has credible sources behind it. They're based out of San Francisco. Fantastic interview by my main man Beatles with the True USD guys, so check that out as well. But considering those four things, I would truly be wary of looking at prices on Binance when you are looking at fiat valuation. Definitely look at exchanges like Kraken, look at exchanges like Coinbase, and look at exchanges like Gemini. If you're in the United States, those are the three I would recommend. I definitely would not overextend beyond that. I would definitely look at that when looking at technical analysis. So this is my stop loss zone. This is a old chart here, so I'm just going to give this a quick refresh. Make sure everything's on point here. So this is the 100-day moving average. 24-hour is on a close, but wow, look at that. We have crossed the 100-day moving average. What does that mean? That means this may mean more bullish pressure coming forward, and maybe the market's ready to turn around, but I just don't think we have enough statistical data for that yet. I think we should let it play out and make sure you keep an eye out very closely. If you do want to capture some of these profits, keep that stop loss tight and make sure you have your alerts set. There's a lot of alert services out there. TradingView, of course, offers a really good alert service, and of course, Blockfolio also Blockfolio is completely free to use and allows alert services as well. So that's pretty big news to me, and I definitely think that you should definitely keep an eye out on this. I mean, the day closed at 38.71, so we're right there. Right now, what we're looking at is I want to call it a faux doji, right? So this is a doji pattern right now, as indicated by this big candlestick here. going high as 39.60 and as low as 38.34. But this day hasn't even started yet, barely. Right, guys? I actually don't know when this day actually started. I turned off my timers here. But anyways, the day just started. The crypto day on my charts just started. So even if we're looking at the 4-hour, we have pretty prominent dojis here. So what does a doji mean? A doji means, and I'll actually Google this live with you guys. Doji. So this is a doji candlestick pattern. Right now what we have is a long leg doji. And what does a long leg doji mean? It pretty much means it's at a pressable. It's either going to go up or it's either going to go down. I mean, and what we've been seeing is it's going sideways, right? But with this much volume and this much participation, it kind of clicks people and kind of says, hey, pay attention to me, I'm Bitcoin. And it kind of gets people attention span up about crypto and about Bitcoin. Whenever we see these large spikes, 10, 15, in some cases like EOS, 30%. So definitely keep an eye out for this doji, especially on the daily interval. This may indicate that we may go right back down, or it may indicate that, hey, we're taking a brief pause here, but it's looking like a whole market reversal. To me, I really don't think that is taking place right now. It could happen, definitely could happen, but make sure you keep your stop losses tight here. And keeping attention and keeping your alerts set, because you don't want to miss out, but you also don't want to miss out on the gains if it does go drop right back down, or you don't want to miss out on potentially dropping a little lower, hitting that $3,700 mark, and jumping right on top. I mean, that's definitely, and jumping right over to 4,400. You definitely don't want to set your stop loss too conservative, because you may miss out on some huge potential gains here. So make sure you keep your alerts on. It's definitely good to keep those alerts on, and make sure you have those trailing stop losses. And by trailing stop losses, I mean, if you have 100 Bitcoin and you want to capture a profit on 20% of it, so that's 20 Bitcoin, you trail those stop losses out. So of that 20 Bitcoin, you do 15%, 15%, 15%, and then maybe the rest is, I can't even do math right now, 55%. You can do a very conservative stop loss, or very liberal stop loss there. So definitely make sure you keep an eye out on this market, especially because, remember, you don't want to catch a falling knife, and you don't want to miss out on these huge parabolic explosions. So definitely keep an eye out on this market here, and I just cannot urge you guys enough. Make sure you guys keep an eye out on the market right now. I'm not like most other YouTubers who are just going to give you false hope, but right now, looking at these technical patterns, it is a little indecisive right now. I mean, just look at that. We're seeing dojis all over the place. Specifically here, I mean, that's a big doji right there, and we don't really know what's happening, but it is very crucial that we're hitting fib levels meaning Fibonacci retracement levels, and of course, what are we hitting? That huge indicator of 100-day moving average. So there could be a large move coming forward, or it could be a retest of that 100-day moving average, and we could be rejecting right back down to 34 without a beat, without skipping a single beat. So make sure you set those stop losses, and I want to keep reiterating this because I know people are just going to be like, nah, screw this guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, I'm not going to set any stop losses, or I'm not going to take any take profits or anything like that. Please set your alerts. If they're absolutely free, go download Blockfolio or Delta. They'll give you alerts for free. Set those alerts. Hey, when it hits 4,000, alert me. When it hits 3,800, alert me. When it hits 3,700, alert me. And set those stop losses and take profits accordingly. It's always good to take profits. It always is. It always is. I mean, yeah, it hurts a little bit considering if you did buy throughout all of 2018, it may hurt a little bit. Hey, like, shit, I bought at 15,000. Now I'm selling at 4,000. May hurt a little bit, but remember, it's good to diversify your portfolio and making sure you take those profits. I mean, I'll tell you the absolute truth. I took a majority of my profits. I'm saying around 70 to 80% of my portfolio in early 2018. So that was my final stop loss was and I'm still holding on to 20% of my Bitcoin still available to me, just because I wanted to keep it, and I just wanted to hold my Bitcoin, and I just wanted a small exposure to Bitcoin, even though it did drop down to 4,000. I still wanted to keep onto it. But 80% or 90% of my portfolio, 80% of my Bitcoin is all liquidated in cash. And that was when Bitcoin was at 15,000. And was I a future teller? Nope. I just wanted to be conservative, and I set my stop losses. And when you set your stop losses, this shit could go right down to 2,000. Nobody knows what's going on, No, nobody. I mean, we try to. I mean, we're right now. What we're doing is rubbing our crystal balls, or crystal ball. If you have more than one ball, I guess crystal balls, and pretty much giving our best guesstimate. Not even a good accurate estimate, because this market is so accurate, but what we can do is kind of see what we're looking at right now and try to configure it that way. And so what I'm going to do is look at these historical dojis and what's been happening in the past. So this is a pretty prominent doji here, and I'd like to see some follow-up dojis in the next couple days, see that statistical variance kind of play out a little bit. But look at this one right here, and I'm going to actually make this a little bigger, and I'm going to use a little circle tool, and this is something that I want you guys to make sure that you're following this. This is applicable across all cryptocurrencies, but remember, Bitcoin, everything is correlated to Bitcoin other than what it looks like BNB. Even BNB is slightly correlated with Bitcoin. If you don't know what BNB is, look into it, because BNB is looking like an incredible hedge. BNB is Binance coin. Only available on Binance, but it is Binance coin, and it's an incredible hedge against Bitcoin. Not as good as Tether, not as good as Paxos and these other stable coins, but it is a great hedge to jump into. And I mean, there was some incredible gains for Binance coin over the last month, 30, 40, 50% gains. So definitely take a look at that. Are you guys affiliated with BitBoy? No, but he is my boy. And he is a good guy. Shout out to BitBoy. Go check out his channel. And shout out to Crypto Beatles. Go to his channel too. He's got some great interviews coming up, especially looking at his Neo DevCon that he just came back from. So definitely keep an eye out on his channel as well. They're all family. So please take a look at that. And of course, if you want to join our Discord lounge, it's always popping there. There's a free lounge. Just wait 5 seconds. There it is, up there. You can take a look at that link, or you could join our original OG Moon Lounge, which is a paid group, and have access to all of our different analysts that we have brought on. Anyways, and I'm gonna actually now finally get into what I was actually saying I wanted to get into. So let's make it a nice color. What's a nice color here? That's a nice color. I want that real thick. All right, that's a thick line. Look at that. And I just want a line. I don't want an arrow. Whatever. This will do. Look at that doji right there. Look at that doji. I mean, it was just so set up. There was some range, right? There was some range, but on that close, on that high and low close, it's very squeezed together. So to be exactly accurate, I'm scrolled over it, and you could take a look at that high and low. So the open was $39.95. The close was $4,000. So that from the entire day's interval, if you just went to sleep for 24 hours, you would have seen $5 in price action on the entire day. So that is a doji. That is an excellent example of a doji. And what happened with that doji? And we could even take a look at this. Whoops, let me scroll back out. I mean, we could just take a look at this MACD involved with that as well. So that was a doji, and we knew it was going to cross down. So what did you do there? You looked at that. You looked at the blue line sloping down, and you looked at the doji. Now that is an incredible indicator saying, hey, I should sell the shit out of this asset. And that's pretty much what everyone should have done, and that's one indicator that you could use. I mean, dojis are just, you could see these time and time again. And now, what is this? This is what you considered a hammer. And I'm not just making these terms up. These are actually hammers. I mean, this is slightly a doji, but this hammer, look at that hammer right there. And you could tell by the MACD that this is kind of taking off, and looking at different indicators. Even the wave trend indicator, very low RSI, incredibly low RSI. So you saw that really, really low RSI, and you saw a hammer there, which is similar to a doji, but it indicates kind of price reversal action. This is incredible. It just shoots right back up here. So these are huge, huge indicators that you could definitely take an advantage of. And just take a look at this. Just more squeezed. When it was back at 62, 65, and then what happened? A huge dump, a massive dump, all the way around a $1,200 dump right there. Just looking at some small indicators, and this is primarily useful for swing traders and of course margin traders, but of course you don't want to set your leverage too high or get closed out too quickly there. But this is just textbook operation here. So when I see this doji forming here, and even if we go to the 4-hour here, we're seeing multiple dojis form here. This is incredible. This is incredible because these are signs that we should all be paying attention to, that something is happening here. We either are going to have a larger sell-off right back down to that $36 down to $3,400 mark where we were stable, or we are starting to pick up steam, and we're starting to get those big orders in these order books over the exchanges, picking up volume, seeing that boom, getting those shorts eliminated, right? And I will definitely go over some of your cryptocurrencies, guys. If you want to chat and you want your chat visible up there, that is the YouTube chat, but I'm also looking at your Facebook chat, guys. Don't worry, guys, I am taking a look at all of it. I definitely wanted to go over this specifically. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to BTC USD, and you guys could follow along. BTC USD shorts. So look at that, guys. That is incredible. And I feel like I'm Steve Irwin because I'm just like, you're all right, you know. I can't do a good Australian accent. We'll have Trader Talk back one of these days. We'll have our original OG Australian definitely on stream, giving his very valuable insight. Definitely curious to see what James is saying these days about the market. But look at that very steep decline of orders just being dropped, all these short orders. So these are people predicting that, hey, I don't want to bet that we're going down. Nobody wants to bet that right now. But if we look at BTC longs, remember, BTC longs doesn't really have to coordinate with BTC shorts. It doesn't have to have an inverse correlation. So you want to take a look at both charts. So, for example, BTC longs, so right now what's happening is now people are pulling out of the derivatives markets, because look at that, the longs, even the longs are being are down too. So the entire orders in the derivative markets on BitMEX is significantly lower, and the orders are being significantly lower, whether you want to short it or long it, whether people want to take bets that's going long or short. People are just saying, hey, I'm getting out of the market right now. I don't want to bet that if it's going up or down, because really, honestly, and if you want to listen to other YouTubers, you can, and you want to look at other analysts, you can. What this is indicating, what the market is indicating, when you see lower short orders and lower long orders, what it's indicating is people are very uncertain. Nobody knows what's actually going to happen. So that's why I really strongly beg you. I don't want to beg, but what's a good word? What's a good synonym for beg? Let's go off topic here. Oh, yeah, and I just wondered what BitMEX meant, and BitMEX means Bitcoin Mercantile Exchange. I should have known that. Been on it for like 3 years, but what the hell. Beg synonym. Let's look at some beg synonyms here. I implore you. I pray to. I beseech you. Beseech. How does that mean? Okay, I like that. I beseech you. I'm going to start using that new vocabulary here today. I beseech you to please set your stop losses and alerts. I think this is the end all be all right now. You have to do this. You know, I'll literally haunt your dreams if you don't, because there's some great profits here and there's some great trades that you can make during uncertain times. As long as you're vigilant and you set your stop losses and you just make sure you pay attention to the market. These are crucial times in the market. All right. So now let's go over to coin market cap. There's my little spiel about Bitcoin and specifically what it's going to do, or who knows what it's going to do, because people are uncertain. The market is showing it's uncertain. If any analyst is going to rub their crystal balls, tell them, like, what are you talking about? This is clear a textbook uncertainty occasion, right? And there are some, you could do more liberal, like liberally, or conservatively, what I think is going to happen is we're going to step down a little, right? Bounce back from 3,800 and maybe even punch off 38, even higher 37, and we may hit that $4,000 mark. And that's a conservative, that's very, very conservative of me. And that's what I'm hoping will happen. That is me rubbing those crystal balls very hardly. And I should stop saying crystal balls. Crystal ball. I'll be rubbing my crystal ball very hard. All right. Yes, and trust me, I have lost. Let's see. Verge was my biggest upset, because I set a stop loss for 50%. XVG, I set a stop loss for 50% when it hit 25 cents and it dipped below 25 cents. Immediately cashed out 25 cents per Verge. And now what is XVG out now? And then I tried to play that catch up game, try to follow that. Holy shit. Okay, sorry, I was not expecting this. Holy shit, that was incredible. Less than a penny here. And I kept selling this off. I still have some Verge. Just bag holding. Terrible project, terrible cryptocurrency. At $1.1 billion, $1 billion cryptocurrency. So that was in early 2018. $1.3 billion market. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. All right. Anyways, no more ranting. You know, that's why I said crypto rant, because what do? We rant. This guy says, love from the Arab bit community. I am not Arab. I'm actually Indian. But much love from everyone who's joining us. We got a ton of people on today. So we got 50 from YouTube, 85 from Twitter, and let's see how many live viewers we have on Facebook. Cryptocurrencies, guys. If you want to chat and you want your chat visible, okay. I guess it's 65 or sorry, yeah, 62 on Facebook. So welcome everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And now let's go over some of your user questions, and let's try to read as much as we can. Buy Ravencoin. Okay, all right. Ravencoin is on my hit list. It is. It really is. It's something that I've picked up and I've been continually monitoring. It's got a shitty name, shitty branding. Honestly, terrible branding. First of all, I wouldn't be, first of all, the whole name is Ravencoin, which I don't really like too much, but it's it's a good project. Why? Because it pretty much connects metadata to digital assets and allows you to transfer that. And this is primarily used specifically, in my eyes, when I read the white paper, was specifically a security token protocol that enabled digital transfer of ownership and data to be transmitted on the per se transaction. And now we have Ivan saying, what does a mall say? Amal's analysis was pretty spot on today. You guys could take a look at that if you join the Discord lounge. Definitely take a look at the Discord lounge. Sneh, my son just chuckled at Crystal Ball. That's always good, guys, and I really appreciate it. If you guys could do me a favor, smash that thumbs up and subscribe. Whether you're on Facebook, give me a follow. You know, and click and hit subscribe and hit that little notification bell to tell you guys when we're online. We stream occasionally and periodically. Just things have been keeping me really, really busy. Yeah, am I affiliated with Crypto Beatles? Yes, but let me get to my original thought. Yes, I really do appreciate all you guys joining me here today, and please smash that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and do me a favor and comment. Just whatever you guys want to see in the next video. If you're not watching this live, please give me a comment. I definitely read through all the comments here, so really do appreciate it. So, are you guys affiliated with BitBoy? LOL, I meant Crypto Beatles. Yeah, I mean, me and Beatles found Monarch token together. So if you guys haven't checked it out, if you look at the banner, you could take a look at monarchtoken.io. Honestly, it's the best mobile wallet that's out there. So just take a look at that, and let's go over some more cryptocurrencies. I don't want to stress too much about Ravencoin, but we can. I mean, we can take a quick look at it. I do more of a fundamental analysis here. I like it for the long haul, and I've been trying to accumulate small bits of Ravencoin. But that being said, you know, it isn't looking very good right now. I mean, we're just looking at this total upheaval in Bitcoin and a total dump for Ravencoin. So this might be a good time for me to accumulate a little bit on Ravencoin, because I do want to have a little bit of exposure. I don't want to miss out on that. It's a good project. I've met with some of the big investors of Ravencoin, so I'm definitely keeping an eye out on that. Didn't Sneh lose a lot of BTC in my corrupted wallet? I did. I've lost over 500 Bitcoin. But remember, I've been mining since 2011, so back then it hurt a lot less. I no longer mine, but when I was mining, I was in nuclear engineering school at university. That's always fun. Got my master's as well in systems engineering. So I was really entranced by Bitcoin, and I lost 500 Bitcoin. I've lost more Bitcoin than I own right now, which is pretty crazy. But at the time, it was nothing. You know, it was like, oh shoot, like a couple months of rent. Oh no, you know. Well, I was upset. Don't get me wrong, but did I expect it to blow up like this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And specifically, why we created Monarch in the first place is because we give you access to your private keys. I didn't have my private key. I had my .json file. And what happened to a .json file? A JavaScript objective notation. That is what the whole file name is called. It is an extension file. It's, you know, the wallet.dat file. If you're really early into Bitcoin now, there's much more easier tools. Anyways, I installed it on there. I had my Bitcoin wallet there. Didn't even care about my private key. Who cares? As long as I have this file. And then what happens? Along with my term paper, my computer crashes. And there's history, and then now it's no longer recoverable. I've given it a few people, and now people ask me, hey, like, give me a chance to recover it. Honestly, I mean, it's just such a hassle, and I just want to forget about it. Like, so I mean, I could give you the file if you really beg, but honestly, there's nothing that anyone can do. I've literally reached out to like top experts, so that's always good. I've paid people thousands of dollars. Hey, give it a crack. And nothing's moved out of the wallet. Nothing's happening. So that's how it rolls. That's why we created Monarch token, or Monarch wallet rather. Download it on iOS and Android stores. Super easy to use. The most functional mobile wallet out there. I could say that with pride because we are. We support the most flexibility of different currencies. So definitely, and it sucks. Yeah, of course it sucks. But you know, lesson learned. I'm still in the space. You haven't lost me yet. So yeah, don't count me out yet. So we had some questions here. We on Facebook we had Hollow, so HOT. Is that what it's called? HOT? Yeah, it is. HOT. Ooh, up 12%. No, let's rant about this now. Let's rant about Holo and EOS and Cardano and Qtum and Neo and every other platform coin out there. Let's rant about it. Because I'm not convinced, guys. I just am not convinced. I'm not convinced. If you are running an application and you're not being directly funded by EOS or Stellar or have an incentive to go on some of these sidechain protocols, what the hell? Like, why? Why even bother? Why even deal with anything other than Ethereum? Why? Ethereum is going to scale. We're seeing plasma. We're seeing, what is it? I saw some article, macro plasma or some shit like that. Some crazy terms, and apologies for my language here. Some crazy stuff like that. You know, I'm just not convinced that any of these assets will really pan out with actual usable technology behind it. I mean, Ethereum they're building out scalable technologies. They have dApps that are already built on them. Yeah, they're not that flashy and they're kind of slow, but this is an evolution of a whole space. So it's going to take some time, and I definitely think Ethereum is on the forefront of that. And you know, I don't want to bite my tongue and say, hey, don't buy EOS, don't buy Cardano. No, that's not what I'm saying, because boy, oh boy, can you make some quick money on EOS and Cardano and Neo and Qtum. And you see that I'm almost leaving out a specific platform coin that is very, very high up, and it's Stellar. I'm just in love with Stellar. Maybe I'm a fanboy, and maybe there's some huge bias here, but I think Stellar. I think Stellar is better than almost everything else out there. If once exchanges and wallets start supporting Stellar-based currencies a little bit faster and more seamlessly, like ERC20 tokens, we'll have a good time. But as of right now, as of right now, I definitely recommend, if you're starting a cryptocurrency, I mean, you can just Google how to do it. But as of right, you could Google how to. Sorry, just have some replay going on. You could Google how to actually make your own ERC20 token under 2 hours. You know, so it's very, very simple, very easy to use. More and more people are understanding Solidity, so not too bad. Holo is added to Binance. This is big. That's why it's kind of jumped up. I agree with that. I'm reading some comments here, and they're also telling me that Holo, just guys. I mean, platform coins in general, they're just so they rise the quickest, but boy, oh boy, do they disappear the quickest. I mean, what the hell happened to VeChain? I mean, VeChain is still doing pretty good, but you know, all these different cryptocurrencies, there's got to be one winner. It's the evolution of the market. Remember, we had an HP app store, we had a Motorola app store, we had a Nokia app store, we had a Windows app store. Remember that? We had a Samsung app store, which still kind of exists, but kind of merges into the Android app store a little bit. And so, what did we think of it like operating systems? What did we decide as a market? We said, hey, we're going to support Android, and we're going to support iOS, Apple. iPhone has been a pinnacle of smartphone technology. I own an iPhone, whether you like it or not. But that being said, I think that the market will naturally decide to kind of eliminate all the other choices other than a few. So when you think about Qtum doing well, you know, just make sure you guys have, you know, your reality check kind of kick in a little bit. You know, yes, it could earn you a lot of money, and it's good to swing trade and things like that. But I'm just talking about for sheer long-term investment, I would compare the original iOS. Yes, the iOS right now compared to Android, and I know people with Android phones, and you know, I have friends with Android phones. That's not what I'm trying to say. But yes, I am very familiar with Android, and it's got versatility over iOS, and that's what I'll say. But what does iOS have? iOS has that deep market penetration and comfortability of millions of consumers that will are loyalists to this technology, to iOS, to Apple's kind of flagpole, right there. And Apple isn't like Blockbuster that they don't adapt. Of course they freaking adapt. Of course they adapt, but you know, I think they adapt much better than, obviously thousands of times better than Blockbuster. But do I think Ethereum is going to adapt? Absolutely, Ethereum is going to adapt. So when it comes in terms of investment, and you're hearing these little chain terms like ontology, Neo, things like that. Listen, Neo, I sold Neo when it was $80, you know, and I bought it for under $1. So it made me a tremendous amount of money. But do I have that investment mentality when it comes to Neo? You know, actually, I don't right now, but Beatles is releasing some of his Neo content, Crypto Beatles, his interviews, and I'll definitely take a look at those and kind of just decide on my opinion there. But you know, Neo's definitely being built, and people are building on Neo and ontology, so that's beautiful. But again, when it comes to retirement, I'm talking about retirement level things where you could buy Ethereum and set it aside for 5 years, and you could wake up and be like, hey, this is awesome, I have Ethereum. You know, that is what I think of Ethereum. That's how highly I think of Ethereum. I don't even think Ethereum, and you know, we have questions on Holo and things like that, but you know, honestly, I don't know too much about Holo. But again, it's one of those platform coins that I don't want to get too deep into. But let me give you my final statement about Ethereum and Bitcoin. Ethereum and Bitcoin, the only two cryptocurrencies I don't even consider an altcoin. Everything else is an altcoin. Everything else is an alternative currency. It's completely alternative to me. You know, it is completely foreign. You know, even XRP. I mean, XRP is battling for market cap with Ethereum, constantly going 2-3, 2-3 on the market cap rankings. You see Ethereum's at number 2 and XRP is at 3 right now. So I just wanted to say that I don't even consider Bitcoin and Ethereum as an altcoin. I just think they're standards. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum have set themselves apart and have a long enough history where they will continue on for generations to come. Not generations. Shit, that's a terrible example. For years to come. You know, for years to come. Because this technology is very new. Things happen very fast. But I'm willing to bet my own money, and I have, and I'm not your financial advisor. So please, make sure you never listen to a YouTuber, by the way. Never ever listen to a YouTuber, even me. You know, make sure you do your own research, garner a lot of opinions, and formulate your own opinion, right? Because if you take someone's advice blindly, you're going to get hurt. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. It's always good to have a little bit of doubt in you when listening to anybody. And you know, I still do that, you know. Hey, like the theory of gravity. Am I 99.9% sure gravity exists? Sure. But the flat earthers, you know, I know some compelling flat earthers that would make a very compelling argument. You know, I'm not a flat earther, don't get me wrong. But you know, people have beliefs, and it's always good to have doubt in 100% of things that you do. Always. Except, I guess, marriage. I'm not married. Maybe that's why. But I'm still young. I'm in my mid-20s here, so, or shit, late 20s here, so not too bad. My love life aside, you know, Ethereum and Bitcoin, 99% chance that they will exist within the next 5 years, and they will have a good community in the next 5 years. Okay. All right. That being said, guys, and please smash that thumbs up. I hate saying that. Please give me a thumbs up. Don't smash it. You know, just lightly click on it. Your mouse has feelings too. And subscribe if you can. I really do appreciate it. That's the biggest thing you guys could do for me here. Or join our Discord lounge. That helps support the community and helps growing our community and getting better and better analysts, and helping our analysts get more and more tools in their hands. And that's what we want to do at the end of the day. So take a look. Of course, there's a moving banner that I guess my screen doesn't go all the way flat up, but there's a banner on the top that's constantly moving. I know it may be a little annoying, but it gets your attention. And I apologize for the swearing, Elizabeth. Potty mouth today. But it's a green day. It's a good day, guys. Make sure you eat your vegetables. Actually, crazy enough, this February, right now, it's been 18 days where I have not touched sugar or wheat or rice, any sort of processed grain or potatoes. So all of February. So that's pretty crazy. So make sure you guys eat a bunch of vegetables. And for all the kids that are watching, you know, go to school and study hard, and that's it. Anyways, I'm going to round out the stream here now. You know, we have a green day. Make sure you set your stop losses. And I just wanted to give a fun fact right now. If you are living on the... Oh, that's a BMI indicator. If you are living and, you know, exactly like what health you're supposed to do, you know, make sure you guys are keeping track and being statistically evident of how many, when you go to the gym, how many reps you do, how much weight you put on, how much weight you lose, how much calories you take in. It's all a statistics game, you know, so even nutrition is. So make sure you guys keep a track of it and be conscious. All right. That being said, I thought this was really cool. If you're on the East Coast and you're up at 12:30 and you have even binoculars or even with the naked eye, an asteroid will briefly blot out the sky's brightest star tonight. So if you're on the East Coast of the United States, it'll be at around 12:30, and of course it's called Sirius. It's the brightest star in the sky. I thought it was Polaris, which is the North Pole, but I was very wrong. But it'll happen around 12:30, and I'll actually leave this link below. I'm sure you guys wouldn't want to know this. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool here. So here's a link, guys, and over on Facebook, I'll drop you guys a link too. My YouTube channel, just type in CryptoSomniac and you'll find us, me, Sam, and Jason. So take a look at it. I just thought this was really, really cool here, guys. So you know, just you know, never stop wondering and never stop being curious, especially about in the crypto space. Make sure you stay relevant, make sure you stay current, make sure you read those news, even though some of it, you know, you got to get real good at reading through all that fluff. I mean, just let me just go to our cryptocurrency. Let me give this a refresh. And Reddit/r/cryptocurrency. It's a nice little board. It kind of aggregates everything together. But it aggregates all these interesting articles from all these different news websites. And of course, you could take a look at Monarch Wallet, and we aggregate website news as well. So take a look at that as well. But that being said, this is really, really cool. You know, if you want to take a look at this, this is where I get a lot of my news. And you get a lot of feedback, a lot of comments, a lot of funny memes and things like that. You know, and just things like that. Printed money, JPM, JP Morgan's coin is a joke. You know, things like that. Opinion pieces. You know, so it's always good to garner opinions, and that's why you know, I'm always curious about the heavens above us. You know, we got the blockchain in our veins below us, and we have the stars above us. So it's always interesting. You know, it's the only way we can expand is out, right? You can't really expand in too much further. But yeah, go take a look at this, guys. I think it's really cool. Tell your friends. That just take a look outside in the sky and with some binoculars, and it'll briefly be shut for, will dim significantly, if not disappear, for 1.8 seconds. So it'll be cool to check out if you have a long exposure camera or anything like that. Or I guess you wouldn't do long exposure, right? You would just be taking a video. So definitely take a look at that. And I think this actually, holy moly, okay. This tells you exact coordinates of what's going on. I'm not going to pretend to decipher this, but it'll be gone for, you know, 1.8 seconds, which is pretty cool. So take a look at that, guys, and that's it. And remember, guys, this is cryptocurrency. The markets are very volatile. Make sure you guys take care of yourself. Don't stress too much about this. Set your alarms, yes. Set your stop losses, yes. But the most important thing is to spend time with your family, Make sure you're enjoying your life. You know, make sure that if this is stressing you out too much, then you should severely reduce it, because this is essentially gambling. You should not be putting your life savings into crypto. You know, while I have a little bit more experience, and yes, a large portion of my entire portfolio was crypto, but since 2018, I set my stop losses, and now it's a small piece. You know, it's around 20 to 30% of my entire portfolio. But again, I'm in this game, I'm in this space 24/7, so you may not want to be as in depth as me, but remember, guys, please take care of yourselves first. Don't get too stressed about this. If you're staying up at night and watching the charts, you know, make sure it's a healthy habit. You know, make sure you're not over leveraging yourself too much. And you know, that's why we set up the lounge. You know, you can't be informed 24/7. You want some feedback in the middle of the night, you could talk to our lounge. You could drop a comment, and we'll of course get back to you. And there's a huge, robust community, so you know, we're always talking there, and you know, it's good to have friends. That being said, I really appreciate everyone joining the channel today. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend. We're always trying to grow the channel, and join our Discord group. We're not aggressive about it. You know, we're not going to say, hey, buy my $9.99 $9 or $10 course and you get my number one pick for 2019. We're not going to do that, right? I'll just be honest, you know, with you. I don't have a number one pick for 2019 other than my own project, which I'm heavily unbiased. I mean, I'm running an ICO right now, and we already have a product out, so download Monarch Wallet. But that being said, you know, we're not going to do you like that. You know, this is a good community. We're trying to grow the community. I don't think I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not in for the short-term games. I'm not here to scam people or anything like that. So that's why I always say never trust a YouTuber. Never trust one opinion. Get a bunch of opinions, formulate your own opinions, get educated. That's the biggest part. And that being said, I love all of you guys, and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace out, y'all.